guys are now listening to the Crime Pays podcast. It's your host, Mr. Sanchez. I got my co-host with me,
Young Glizzy.
What's going on, cuz?
Chilling. Living.
Yeah, man, me too. Same. I feel better this week, dude.
Yeah? How was your week?
It was good. Last week, I was in a dark place, dude.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But today, I feel better.
Yeah?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's good. That's good to hear, dude. What kind of good things have happened to you this week?
I don't know. Like, nothing too good. But, you know, I've
just the vibes are there?
Yeah, just the vibes. You know what I'm saying? I had to take accountability, blame everything that happened on myself.
That's what I do. It helps.
Yeah.
It really does.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything's always our faults. You know what I'm saying?
But, yeah, but, you know, it makes you feel better.
It does, and it's so weird. You know, I didn't learn that till I was probably like 20, but like me just blaming everything on myself has helped me. Yeah, like whenever someone pisses me off, I go, yo, it's my fault. I'm stressed out, like, why? This person's an idiot. Like, I should have known.
Yeah. Like, I've been sober 7 days. No alcohol. Been laying off the booze.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I look more clear-eyed on this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The last one, I was a little sloppy.
Yeah, a little bit. But it was still a good pod. I think so, at least.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. Let's see. I trained hard this week. Started running again.
Start again?
Yeah.
Yo, if I were you, I would never run again.
Fuck it.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, tell them what happened to you last week from running.
They know. They listen. But I didn't just go like full crazy this time. You know what I'm saying? Like I ran for like one song, and then I chilled out for like half a song, walked, and then I ran for the next song, chilled out for half the song.
How fast you finished? What'd you do, a mile?
No, I did 3 miles, 12 minutes each. Not too bad, but I've been lifting heavy. I feel strong as fuck. Pretty consistent. I only took 1 day off. I started taking creatine, double the doses. I saw some podcast that said it was good for your brain. It was good for your muscles. And it's true, dude.
Is that a fact, dude? Because I've thought about taking creatine and going to the gym all over again. But the creatine, I feel like it will make me look bloated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have a beard, you know, so like, most of the time you see that in your face, you know what I'm saying? So my beard kind of blocks that. Does my face look bloated to you?
No.
See? But I was getting, like before I was taking it, I was getting a lot of muscle cramps, right? Like I would do biceps until I couldn't no more, and then I would cramp up, you know, and I thought it was because I was going to the sauna and the steam room a lot, and I was like low on water and dehydrated. But what creatine does, it hydrates your muscles. So this week I went crazy, and I didn't get no cramps. You know what I'm saying? I was stronger. I felt mental clarity. I slept real good. So I think there's something to it. You should start taking it.
Yeah, and you need to be consistent with the gym. I'm not that consistent.
Yeah. Well, you fucked yourself up all week, and you lived up to your stereotype of what your dad always tells me, that you fuck yourself up, and if he doesn't keep an eye on you, you won't be here with us anymore. And if you guys been watching the pod, I always, you know, Glizzy used to have a segment on how he almost killed himself that week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how did you fuck yourself up this week?
Yeah, so this week I cut my finger. I cut maybe 15% of it off.
Show the cam, yeah?
I can't, dude. The YouTube will take it off for that. Dude, they do it. You'll see. Yeah. I don't want. It's fucking ugly. You guys don't want to see it anyways. I'll put a picture up.
So how much of your finger did you lose, percentage-wise?
You know, I didn't go past the nail. Like,
okay.
You know, fuck it. Yeah, I won't see it. It won't see it right.
It won't focus?
But, no, it won't focus.
You got to put your hand behind it, and then it'll focus like this.
Yeah, but, like, it's like a little 15% of the tip of my finger, you know what I'm saying? Like, It's not crazy, but, I mean, for sure, that shit was gushing out blood. Now, how I cut my finger, you know, I don't think is the most idiotic way. Mm-hmm. I think, like, I was cutting carrots, and, you know, your finger is equivalent to a carrot. Like, the way you bite a carrot, you could bite your finger off.
Crazy.
Like, so I was using this, you know, those little things that you slide?
Uh-huh.
And I was using that to cut the carrot. Now, I couldn't use the guard. Usually I use the guard, like, with an onion or a tomato when I'm using that slide cutter. But this is a fucking carrot. This shit's long. So I just did it freehand. And then my girl starts talking to me, and I started talking to her, and I wasn't paying attention. I fucking slipped the fucking
so you were
tip of my
using
finger
one of
off.
those veggie cutters.
The veggie cutters.
Yeah, you put the onion on the cutter, and you go like that, and it cuts perfect slices of tomatoes, perfect slices of onions.
Yeah.
My mother chopped her hand with one of those. Those
Dude,
things are super dangerous.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's not just because, all right, I might not be the most wise man in the world. You know what I mean? But, like, you could cut yourself with that shit, dude. That shit's sharp.
Yeah.
And I dropped it lower so it could cut the carrots thick because I was cutting them for my dog.
Oh, shit.
So that's why it took a big chunk.
Yeah.
And
how long did it bleed for?
Dude, 2 days.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go to the hospital?
Because I don't have health insurance.
There's nothing to laugh at, but I told you to get health insurance, dude.
Yeah, but
I reminded you when it was on. I told you how to get it for cheap. And you didn't listen to me, dude, because you didn't want another bill. Now you need to go to the hospital. You didn't want to go.
So, dude, there's things I don't understand, right? So the actual reality as to why I didn't do the certain healthcare thing is because I didn't know how that was going to affect me, because now we're in Trump's America, and I'm hoping we hit a point where houses drop to the point where I could buy it, and I don't know if that would have affected me. And then I asked the person that I always ask for financial advice about that, and they didn't know either. So, like, and I was looking it up, and, I had no true knowledge to it. So I was just like, fuck it, like, I'll just get a real insurance.
So now you're short 15% of one finger.
I'm short 15% of one finger.
And now I see you fucked yourself up on your face. Show the camera.
Yeah.
How'd you do that, dude?
That one, I fell down the stairs, and then, like, the side of my face swiped the wall.
Damn.
Yeah, like, if you look at me, you'll be like, oh my God, this nigga got into a fight. But no, not at all, dude. I didn't get into a fight.
Nah, it don't look like a fight, because a fight you would have swelling, and you would have
Yeah, it's just a scuff on the face. But I'm saying, like, I unwrapped my finger now so I could dry out. You know what I mean? Because, you need to scab up and build the layers of skin back. Like, I'll grow the piece back.
Yeah.
But, like, if you just looked at me, like, when I went to work the next day, my finger's wrapped up, my fucking face is scuffed up. Like, it looks like I had a bad deal with the cartel and they took my finger.
That sucks. Well, I wish you a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
I hope next year you pay attention to what I say and you get some health insurance.
Yeah, dude. Right now, that shit costs, like, probably $9,000 to go over there.
Yeah.
The healthcare system is screwed in Florida, in the United States.
Yeah.
In general. Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, wow. I started watching a new series on Amazon Prime Video. I've recommended to you guys. It's called House of David, and it's kind of like, all right. So it's basically about King David in the Bible, right? And it's a series about him, and starts off when he's a kid, and has like a lot of Game of Thrones vibes in it, and it's actually really good. Like, I thought it was gonna kind of be whack, but it's way better than I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? It starts off where he's like, he's got his dad, he's got his brothers, his mom died, his brothers don't like him. King
David, is that the one that his brothers pushed him down the well?
Yes.
Oh, that's raw, dude.
Yeah, and it's the what? And then he fights Goliath and he kills him.
Yeah, they show all that in there?
Yeah, fire.
Yo,
and
that's
I'm only on episode 1. So if you guys want to watch something cool, even if you're not like, Christian or Catholic, it's still a good watch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in the first one, he fights, first he doesn't become, but you get to introduce who he is. And then you have King Solomon, right? And then King Solomon is fighting these Neanderthal motherfuckers, and they win, the army wins, and he captures the leader, but he doesn't kill him. He wants to like torture him and keep him like a dog on a leash, right? And as they celebrate the win and everything, and a prophet speaks to him through God, like God speaks through a prophet. Prophet speaks to King Solomon, so he had directions on what to do. Kill that army, and you're going to be good. Well, he left that one guy dead, so the prophet comes back, God tells the prophet that King Solomon is going against God and he's no longer going to be the king anymore. So the prophet gets dressed, goes over to the celebration, basically tells King Solomon, yo, you failed God. We're going to strip you. You're no longer king. And he does he touches his head, and King Solomon goes like insane. You know what I'm saying? Then the prophet grabs a sword, goes up to the leader of the Neanderthals, stabs him, cuts his head off. You know what I'm saying? Then they're like, well, who's going to be king now? And then he's like, God chosen you king. So this lion is like terrorizing King David's family. So he's like, yo, because you know, he's got sisters, and he's got a family, and there's a big ass lion that's always like killing their goats and attacking them and shit like that.
Yeah.
So he's like, his dad's like, yo, like you can't go kill that lion. He's like, no, I'm gonna fuck that lion. So he goes looking for the lion, kills the lion, just like in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And then it ends, and then you get an introduction on who Goliath is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
Yo, it's badass.
You know what the thing is, dude? When I've read the Bible, like, you get lost, dude. I get lost in the sauce. Like, I don't remember the lion part, but I read the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I hope I like that they're making like a lot of the religion into a TV, into like a movie, a series.
And
because it helps me understand it.
Yeah, and it's got good actors, and it's like well produced. It doesn't look cheap.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because sometimes they make the movies and they're like cheap. Like I watched one of Moses and it just seemed cheap. It was old though.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
But you know that was fire. In sad news, more than 66 people dead and 150 people taken to a hospital after a roof collapse at a Dominican nightclub. So basically, you know, people going to Dominican Republic, locals performing in a poppin' nightclub over there, and the ceiling caves in, killed 66 people, and injured 150. It's a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Some famous people were killed in it. Ruby Perez, who was a merengue singer, pretty famous guy, he died. Tony Blanco, who played for the Washington Nationals, he passed away. Octavio Dotel played for the Astros, he passed away. So R.I.P. to all those people. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, partying in the third world can get dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
Shout out to all my Dominican people. It's a tragedy. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Dominicans heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good people. You know what I'm saying? I've never been to Dominican Republic. I've always wanted to go.
I've always wanted to go to Colombia, but I don't want to go alone.
Yeah, I got success with Dominican women.
Yeah.
They feel the kid.
That's
They're like the only like Hispanic, like dark people that like white guys.
Yeah.
Not necessarily I'm white, I'm Hispanic, but you know.
We're like a white Hispanic.
Yeah, for the most part, my skin tone
is pale.
Goes against me when it comes to like, you know, Cubans, Mexicans, you know, other people. I have more success with Dominicans.
It might be that you have like Spaniard ancestry.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, because I have Spaniard ancestry. That's why I'm light.
Well, my mom's side is Cuban, but they have Spaniard in the back. And my dad is from like the mountains in Colombia. So,
damn.
Yeah, I got quite the mix there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, R.I.P. to those people.
That's sad, dude.
It's tragic.
Yeah. Like that won't. I don't think that something like that would. I mean, let me not say never, but in America, you know, they do test on the roof and shit.
Yeah,
especially in the clubs.
Well, now because remember that building fell in like Broward somewhere.
Yeah,
a whole like no, it was in Miami. I think it was in Miami.
Yeah, it was like Upper Miami. It was that school. I think it was FIU Bridge or some shit.
No, like that's one thing, but there was an apartment building that like caved in.
Word?
Yeah, like 2 years ago, bro. It was big news.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago I didn't care. Exactly.
Yeah. What else? You know Vitaly? You know who Vitaly is?
Yeah, Vitaly. He's catching all those pedos now on
YouTube. He was doing that, but he stopped. So he like got sober, transitioned, and started making content outside the country, basically being a dick to everybody that he comes across in the street. Okay?
That's funny.
So there was like another guy that used to do that kind of content. His name was like something Anoli or something like that. Basically, he'd go around trolling people and then get arrested and go viral. But since you're an American in another country, when you get arrested for something like that, they kind of just slap you on the wrist and let you go. But they're keeping Vitaly in the Philippines and they're not letting him go.
Yo, bro, but Vitaly, he's both Vitaly and Fuzi, right? Do you know who Fuzi is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so both of them, they're like a little too energetic, dude. Like too hyper, too rude. Like, you know, they take their content a little too far sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially Vitaly, bro.
But that's why you know who they are.
Yeah.
Like
that's a fact, dude.
I personally can't make content like that because I have a conscience, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I feel bad treating people bad. I don't even care if it's going viral. I don't got the heart to treat people bad. Basically, what he did is he was in the beach in Philippines, and there was a dude who was like renting out his jet skis and his basically jet skis, and he was trolling the guy. You know what I'm saying? And then the guy was super cool with him, bro. Like I would have told Vitaly off and like tell him to get the fuck out of here. I'm not renting your shit. But he kept on pushing the guy. The guy asked him to like wear a helmet, and like Vitaly's like, I'm not wearing a helmet. Then he told everybody on his stream to go on Google and leave bad reviews for the guy, and the guy got like 1,100 bad reviews on Google. You know what I'm saying? So he like basically crushed the dude's business.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, what a dick.
Yeah, just being and Vitaly is a dick.
Yeah, Vitaly is a dick, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like I've seen him like he was like doing drugs, and he like punched some girl in the face in Miami Beach. He got arrested. Did a lot of wild shit. But you know, everybody deserves a second chance, but maybe he doesn't. But it looks like the Philippines is gonna make an example out of Cuz.
Yeah, and you know what, dude? Like, I don't think he has such a bad reputation. And that's the thing when you have a bad rep. Like, bro, like people, you know, people are watching you for entertainment. But, dude, like, you still have that bad rep. No. So that shit's not going to help you get out of the Philippines. No. You think those people that locked him up didn't watch all his videos, him being dick to everybody?
Yeah, for sure.
They see that. Yeah,
being in a Filipino prison doesn't seem like it's going to be any fun.
And I'm not saying that the United States government looked at Vitaly stuff, but if they did, I'm sure they'll be like, fuck it, ignore it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit matters.
For sure. Well,
I liked his pedo content more. Like where he was catching the pedos. Yeah. I like when people do that. Fuck the pedos.
I don't like watching it. Like I don't feel bad for the pedos when they just get punched in the middle of a CVS.
No, I find it hilarious.
I don't find it hilarious because I don't know, bro. Like I don't like to see people get punched that don't want to fight, even though they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're pedos and they're pieces of shit. But something about like a dude is like you catch him doing that, and then like for views and shit, you just start punching him in the face. The guys don't even punch back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it really depends, right? Like I've seen it to the point where I'm like, yo, that's a little too much, right?
Yeah.
They are pedos though, you know. But I like it. Like one little slap. Like there's just one guy. He does it on Instagram. He goes, all right, look, we could call the cops, or you could take a couple slaps.
Yeah.
And then the guys choose the slaps, and they slap them hard. Like, you know,
see,
and
I don't
now
like
it sucks when they jump them.
Yeah, like
that's when I'm like, yo, come on.
Like you should call the cops 100%. Like fuck that. I'll let you go if you let me slap you a couple times. No, call the cops so he doesn't do that to a real kid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, but don't just like sit there and like beat the shit out of the dude. Most of the time they're like weirdo nerds or they're old guys or whatever. Like I said, I'm not saying they don't deserve to get slapped and fucked up. They do. I just don't like to watch it. I don't know.
I think
I don't really like that content. I don't like watching like people get shot. Like sometimes on Twitter, you know, like I don't know why. I guess it's because I end up watching it, even though I don't want to. But my Twitter sometimes is just like all bar fights, stabbings, and shootings. I'm like, dude.
I stay off Twitter, dude.
Yeah.
Too much negative energy on there.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, moving on. The stock market tanked, bro. You know what I'm saying? No surprise. You know?
That surprised me, dude.
Nah, dude.
I did not expect
Trump said we were going to feel it. And, you know, in the beginning, it's going to hurt. Everybody's going to take a little hit. But in the end, it's going to be good. You know what I mean?
I did not
these
expect
freaking liberals think I care about their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, they come up to me, bro, the stock market, dude. The stock market this, the stock market that.
Dude.
Yeah, listen, dude. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're throwing it in my face like I should regret my vote or I should feel bad that the market is going down. No, dude. Trump is doing exactly what I voted him in to do.
Well,
I knew tariffs were coming. I knew a trade war was coming. I knew that we were going to suffer in the short term, and I have faith, and I hope that we win this damn trade war so more money comes into the country and more jobs come into the country.
Well, we're 100% going to win the trade war. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like nobody can win a trade war against the biggest consumer in the world.
Exactly.
Now, all the other countries are caving. The UE, Taiwan, every country's caving except the final boss, which is China. And China was like, yo, F you, we're going to raise your tariffs. So today, Trump was like, word, F you.
50% more.
104.
Yeah, but he raised it up 50 from where he originally had
104%. So, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, we buy more from China than China buys from us, though.
That's true.
Like, that won't, even if they do knock the tariff all the way up, bro, I don't see Teslas in China.
Yeah. But you got to understand, like, during COVID, you know what I'm saying, we were fucked because we didn't make anything in-house. You know what I'm saying? Our drugs came from China. Our medicine, you know, our medicines come from China. That's what I mean by drugs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that are crucial to our society these fucking politicians sold us out a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all these countries had tariffs on us. So now we're returning the favor.
Yeah, I like, you know what? And to, like, that's what I spoke about earlier. Like, I think, like, some people are just so lost. Like, all right, so they'll come to us. They'll tell us, look, the stock market's going down. Fam, what stocks do you have, dude?
Yeah.
Because if the stock market went down, what did I do? I bought $1,000 worth of S&P 500
That's
today.
what I'm saying, dude.
That's what the fuck I did. I said, yo,
yeah,
this is the perfect opportunity to make money and buy stocks.
Facts.
If you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I missed it during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, but right now is the time. And then for the tariffs, I love when people are like, no, we can't have tariffs on the other country because they're going to raise our Fam, they already have tariffs on us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people are so ill-knowledged on that. You know, it's just, it's amazing how a lack of knowledge. Now, when the stock market went down, I was kind of like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
my stocks went down.
Like, if you don't sell, you didn't really lose, right? It's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up and down. If you don't sell, you still locked in the price that you bought it. It's just bad for people that are, like, you know, planning to pull their money out, like, today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or in the next, like, 2 years. You know what I'm saying? We should see the fruit of this in about 2 years, they said.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And today, the stock market opened up. The Dow Jones was up 1,300 points, and S&P got raised 3.3%. So, you know, it's not the end of the world, even though CNN is telling these people it's the end of the world.
It's the end of the world. The stock market's going down, dude.
You got people like George Soros, he's literally funding all these protests around the country for Teslas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you see all these people showed up. All those people that you see protesting, the majority of them are getting paid hundreds of dollars to be there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, you guys, it's smoke and mirrors. It's propaganda.
Your tactics won't work no more, dude, because majority knows.
Majority of the country's MAGA.
Majority of the country's
says the election.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, don't panic. Hold tight. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's in my Amazon cart that's made out of China, I don't really need it. You know what I'm saying? I got some stuff in there, some headphones that I want for the gym, you know, some little things like that. All right. Well, I'm going to just chill on that.
Hold on, dude. I kind of fuck with Temu, though.
Yeah, Temu's going up for sure. Shein is going up for sure.
Yeah, that stuff is going up.
Yeah. So now you're going to have to pay maybe $14 for your $7 shirt. Oh, my God. It's the end of the world.
End of the world, dude.
Yeah.
I got this shirt from Temu.
Word? I think I got this one from... no, I got this one from Burlington Coat Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is.
I think it's a perfect time for people to be able to invest their money. So if there was any time you're going to invest your money, right now is the perfect time.
Yeah.
You know, when people are scared, it's time for you to get greedy. When people are greedy, it's time for you to be scared.
Yeah.
Wise man said that.
For sure. You got to buy the dip.
Exactly.
Hopefully a housing market crash happens.
I fucking hope, dude. If the housing market crashes, I'll tell you right away. I'll be like, yo, we need to buy a house now. That's the perfect time to buy a house. Dude.
For sure, dude.
When was the last time we had a real recession? Back in like 2006, 2003, something like that?
I think we've been in a recession since like the second year of Biden. Like,
yeah, but
Biden's first 2 years were good because the country had just opened up from COVID. You know what I'm saying? And there was a boom. Plus, Trump flooded the streets with money with the PPP loans and the unemployment. You know, so people had money stacked. People had money from their LLCs. You know, the hood loves to open an LLC. Everybody got one, even though it doesn't make money. You know what I'm saying? But when that PPP loan came out, everybody had 93 employees, and they were making $200,000.
Yeah.
A lot of them got the bread. They didn't have to pay it back. So, you know, Trump did take care of people financially.
Yeah, he did.
When it mattered. You know what I'm saying? People don't like to give him credit for that. But, you know, if you know, you know.
Yeah, people always like to say the beginning of Trump's terms was Barack Obama's economy. But now, since we're in the beginning of Trump's term, people are saying, look what he did.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be Biden's economy?
And all that money dried up. There's a lot of girls right now with broke baby daddies who they met them in 2020 when they were balling on the fraud. You know what I'm saying? They thought, yo, this dude got money. I'm gonna have this baby, and now now people are hurting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But still, we maintain, we push forward. You know what I mean? Be in good spirits, try to have a good time.
Yeah, but I don't think we're in a recession. I think we are on the verge of a recession, though.
Nah,
definitely.
I think we're in a recession. They just, I think they learn. I think the country like learned
How
about
to?
telling us that we're in a recession. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because every time they did that before, like people would really stop spending money. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now it's like there is a recession. I can tell because
Yeah, but the houses are still up there. Not like in 2006 when the banks were like, it was 2006 when the banks were giving out all the loans and then people couldn't pay it.
the houses went up because naturally houses are going to go up, right? But really the houses went up because of COVID, right? DeSantis opened Florida up early. You know what I'm saying? People who would never even think to move to Miami came here with their PPP money and their you know, their scam money. They saw the beautiful weather, they saw the nice apartments, and they moved in. And the collapse of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? LA was a hot spot for content creators, for aspiring.
Yeah, now it's Miami.
All the porn was over there, all the thing, and now all that industry I feel like has moved to Miami. Plus, you got the migrant crisis. So you had all the 20 million people come into the country. Where do they live?
Cali.
You know what I'm saying? For the most part, from what I see, people came in and they actually bought a house. You know what I'm saying? But they moved their whole family into the house. So if there's 5-bedroom house and they paid $400,000 for it, $500,000 for it, everybody's living in that house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of what's going on. I think that's what happened with it. But I don't know what the future holds, bro. I just know Miami's is a hard place to make it, dude. I used to say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I say if you can make it in Miami, you can make it anywhere.
I think on the contrary, I think now Miami is the state of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to be a content creator, Miami is the spot to start.
Yeah.
You know, like before you wanted to be an actor back in the days, you had to go to Hollywood. You wanted to be a rapper, Hollywood. You know, now Miami.
Yeah.
I think this is the hot spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty sure prices are going to skyrocket in the next 10 years, but hopefully houses drop down. I know DeSantis wanted to take away property tax, which would be fire.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be dope. I'm just waiting for the no tax on tips. When the if God willing the no tax on tips comes in, that's it, bro. That's gonna double my income. I'm gonna liquidate everything I have, bro. I'm gonna sell everything, and I'm just gonna what my plan is. I want to buy like an oceanfront property in Jensen Beach, Florida, Airbnb that shit. You know what I'm saying? And just let it pay for itself, and then retire there after,
so many years,
20 years. I have that apartment paid off through Airbnb. And just go there, live out the rest of my days on the water. That's the plan.
I still want to stay in Miami. I just want to buy a house here in Homestead.
Yeah, you can do it, dude. You can do anything you put your mind to, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Buy a nice little house. I don't need a mansion. nice little land. And then they have those Tesla houses too, where you could just buy a piece of land, plug that shit up to your property, and then pretty lit, 10 bands.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You know, those little, what it is called? It's like those foldable houses. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end. That's the end of the pod. We appreciate you guys watching. Shout out to all the loyal listeners. I'm doing good. Glizzy's not doing so well. He's fucking himself up. You got any negative comments?
I'm doing fine, dude.
Leave it up to Glizzy.
Doing okay.
He's got a shiner and he's missing 15% of his finger. All self-inflicted wounds. All right. Shout out, you guys. God bless y'all. Peace.